Hello Stampers, it's Debbie with Stamp It with Debbie. Thank you so much for joining me for Facebook Live, and today I'm going to be showing you 3 projects using the stamp set Pampered Pets. These are the projects. Give me just a moment. I'm trying to get myself all set up over on my page. Always to make sure that I'm not talking to myself. Sometimes technology is not so good. I hope that you're having a fabulous day. Let me know if you have any plans for this weekend, what you're doing. All right. For some reason, I can't get myself set up, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to see if you're there or not. I guess if you're here, if you could just leave me a comment, I would appreciate it. And let me know you're here. Again, give me a few minutes to see if I can get all set up. Okay, there we are. Now I have it. Okay, we're ready to go. I like to just make sure that we're set up for live. That way I don't do a whole recording and then no one's even there. So thank you so much for your patience this morning. I really appreciate it. Again, I hope you're having a fabulous day. Let me know if you have any plans for this weekend. I'm just getting a few of my supplies around real quickly. Okay, I think we're all set. I have a new setup today. I'm back at my home. If you've been watching my lives, I've been away from my home for a couple weeks. So this morning I had to dig out all of my supplies and reacclimate to my office where I normally do all of my recording. So I think we're all set and ready to go now. Again, today's set we're using is Pampered Pets. If you haven't seen it in the catalog, you're going to love this set. It has both dogs and cats. It does have dies to cut out some of the, this dog, actually all of these dogs. It has a little dog or cat paw print. And then the other thing that I like is this is the coordinating paper. I'm just going to try to space it out. Now the die will cut this cat out right here. I'm just trying to show you all of the fun papers. There's a whole page of cats. And I did cut into a page of my dogs, but this is one of the pages. This is the dog right here that the die will coordinate with. And then look at this whole page of little footprints. And then we have this page of dogs. So I'm going to be using this designer series paper today. And I'm also going to be using the die cut. So you'll get to see lots of fun things. Okay, I'm going to set this stamp set aside and my framelit so I don't lose any of those pieces. And we're going to start with this card right here. It's pretty simple. It's not exactly a 1-layer card, but not too many layers. So we're going to start out with a piece of real red cardstock, cut at 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We can go ahead and fold that right in half. I'm going to grab my bone folder. And then I have a piece of that really pretty designer paper, 2 inches by 5.5. And since we're not doing any stamping on the cardstock, I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. I'm going to make sure my little footprints are right side up. I did cut this out from that die set that I love so much, the Whale and, I believe it's called Whale and Friends. I told you I was going to be using those dies a lot, and I really, really love them. I'm going to do a little stamping on here. And then you'll notice that I did not stamp any greeting on that card. I kind of wanted to just leave it blank so I could write a note inside, whatever I choose to write. I'm just going to stamp a couple hearts up here. And then that is in the Magenta Madness ink. And then I'm just going to take my dog that I use the die cut, the coordinating die cut. This one here, along with the cardstock or designer series paper that I showed you. And I'm just going to put him right on top of that piece, just like that. Now I'm going to pop that up with a couple dimensionals, and it looks like I forgot to bring my dimensionals with me, so I'm going to grab those real quick. Oops, my backing doesn't want to come off. All right, and then I'm going to put my dog right on there. Isn't that so cute? Now the last thing that I need is the ribbon, and I wanted to show you both ribbons that come in this suite. It comes in a 2-pack. It has this little red, and then this is a twine, and that's what I'm going to use today to create a little bow. I just need to get my paper snips here so I can tie a little bow. And I'm going to just, whoops. Looks like these paper snips are not working very well. I'm going to grab my other pair. And then I'm going to grab a glue dot. And I can just put that on the top of the card, and then we'll be all set. When I do a small twine like this, I like to roll the glue dot kind of in a small half circle. That way it's sure to not stick on my card. If I put the full circle on there, it might stick on the card, and then it would rip coming open. So there is project number 1. Isn't that so cute? Look at the dog's face. It reminds me of the little dog from one of the Disney movies. All right, here is the next card we're going to create. Now this one I did use some of the designer paper for the back. And I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5, a piece of that cute designer series paper, the 2-sided, cut at 4 by 5.25. I have a piece of real red cardstock, cut at 3/4 inch by 4. And then I did stamp out my dog already, and I'm going to use the stitched rectangle dies. And I'm just going to, I think I'll do that first to get that out of the way. I'm going to move my supplies out of the way. Bring my Big Shot up. And I'm just going to put my designer paper there. I'm going to center my rectangle up there and go ahead and run it through. Now I want to save both pieces because I'm going to use both pieces for the card. I'm going to set my die out of the way. And then I'm also going to need a few of my markers here, my Stampin' Blends markers. And I'll try to color this real fast so that you don't have to spend too much time watching me color. I used the light basic black for his nose, and I'm using the real red for his collar. And then I'm using Smoky Slate to color the dog. And I think this one, I did use both of them to blend. But I think this one, just to save a little time, I'll just color him with the light today, just to save a little time. So while I'm coloring, leave me a comment, let me know, are you a dog or a cat person? When I was a kid growing up, we had a dog and a cat. And then my husband and I got married. And we adopted 2 girl sister cats. And we never got a dog. My husband always wanted a large dog. And having 4 kids, I really didn't want to have to clean up after 4 dogs as well. So we ended up with just cats. We now have, you've probably heard me talk about this, my Smoky Slate marker is wearing out. We have 4 cats. We rescued all of them. We have Franklin and Lily, and they're our oldest cats. And then we have Max, and then we have Callie. And we love them all. It's a lot of responsibility for 4 cats, though. Okay, I'm going to take that over to my Big Shot. Instead of bringing the Big Shot back to on camera, I'm just going to do that off camera real quick. I'm using my die that I told you was in that coordinating die set. And here it is. And you might hear my little cat meowing in the back. All right, I'm going to bring all the pieces back. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this Whisper White in half. Oh, hi, kitty cat. She's trying to come help me stamp today. All right, this piece here, we're going to go ahead and put on the piece that we cut out with the stitched shapes. Now we're going to use a lot of dimensionals here. And we're going to peel those off. And next we're going to do our best to put that on the front. I have to pull it back to me just a little bit, or I'm going to definitely end up getting it crooked. Okay, so I just put it right on just like that. This piece we cut out of the center, I'm going to turn it over. And we're going to put that inside there. I am going to use liquid adhesive because it's going to give me a little wiggle room when I put it down inside. So I'm putting it on, I put my adhesive on this side here. I'm just going to turn over, make sure your words are right side up, and I'm going to tuck it down inside. This is where I get a little bit of wiggle room to get it just right. Okay. Now we need to put our little dog on. Let me bring this one over. Oops, I did it again. I did this when I was making the card too. See this little piece of twine here? You can put that on before you put the all the dimensionals on. But since I didn't, we're just going to feed it right under. Remember, we only put a few little dimensionals on the back there. And you can put it above or you can put it below. I'm putting mine below this dimensional I put here because we're going to have the banner going over the top. All right, there's our little bow. It just gives us a little bit something there on the side. Kind of pops it up. I'm going to cut that end off because it's a little bit longer. All right, now we're going to take our dog and we want to put a dimensional up at the top, but not at the bottom because that part is going to sit flat on the card that's already popped up. So I just put a little adhesive right here on the bottom and the dimensional on the top. And then we can put that right here. And then the last thing we need to do is we're going to stamp our greeting. Now this one does have it always in your heart, so sorry for your loss. So that would be really good if you had a friend who lost a pet. It's always nice to have those stamps. I'm doing, I hope your day is a real treat. Oh, I'm gonna have to bring it back just a little bit because I got my head in it. All right. All right, now we do need to, I'm gonna set my ribbon aside, to put a dimensional right in the middle, in the back, because this piece here is up by a dimensional, so we want that piece. But I'm just gonna put a little adhesive, liquid adhesive on the sides. And then go ahead and glue it on there. And there is card number 2. What do you think? Do you like all the texture of this one? And it wasn't real hard. We just, to give it a little more texture, we did 2 kinds of designer paper, but this was the leftover. Now, if you wanted to do this on colored cardstock and you didn't want to use this here, you could definitely just use this for another card. So there is card number 2. And then let me bring in card number 3. I had to do a cat because I told you I have 4 cats. And this one I thought was super cute. So I'm just going to grab all my stamps, get them on blocks here. I am using the cat, and I'm going to use the butterflies and the little mouse. And again, on this one, I didn't put a greeting at all. I thought that I could write my greeting on the inside. So I think the first thing I'm going to start with is the stamping. And I'm just going to use Memento Black because I'm using my Stampin' Blends markers to color this in. And there's my little kitty cat. And then I thought it'd be super cute to put the little mouse on there too. I know the cat should be chasing the mouse, but this cat likes mice. Our first cats, actually, I think I just did those upside down, you guys. Darn it. All right, I'm gonna start over again. Our first cats, our very first house that we lived in, our cats did not chase mice. They would watch them run around the room, and it scared me a lot. But I guess they didn't care. They just thought it was whimsical to watch them run around the room, so that's what they did. Okay, we need a couple markers again. Of course, the mouse we're going to color in Smoky Slate. And the butterflies I decided to color in Daffodil Delight. You could color them 2 different colors if you want to. I just thought that was bright and cheery. And then I think for this one, I'm actually going to color my cat in Crumb Cake. We have a lot of brown cats. And one of them is orange, but the rest are all some kind of brown. So I think I'm going to color them, this little kitty, in brown today. Crumb Cake. I'm using Crumb Cake. And again, I won't do any shading at all. I'll just color her in for saving some time. I am hoping to do a little video tutorial on shading and coloring to get shaded effect, and I'll do that on a Technique Tuesday, so don't forget to join in. All right, this part is all done. The last thing that I do need are some of my rhinestones, and I'm trying to find those real quickly. All right, I'm gonna have to improvise with some that I have. So we'll put that piece on later. So I have a piece of cardstock, and this is definitely not 4 by 5 and a quarter. I have to grab a new card base because I think that I picked up the wrong piece of cardstock. I'm gonna do this one 4 1/4. By 11 and scored at 5 1/2. It won't matter, it'll have the same effect on the card no matter what. But I do want to show you something fun that I did. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to put this piece down first. And I'm always trying to look at my dies and see if I can do something different. And I usually try to use just 1 or 2 of the same die sets whenever I'm making a card. But I wanted to show you something that I thought was real fun. So I'm going to put all these pieces away. I don't know if you can tell because it was far away. See this little scallop right here? So I was looking through my cards, or my dies, and I was trying to see something that I might be able to use for that. And I found in the stamp set Budding Blooms, and let me show you what it looks like. It looks like this, and there's this little piece right here. This is flowers. These are all flowers. But I thought, oh, how fun. I can run that through the Big Shot, and then I can get a different kind of texture going on. So let me bring that back over, and I want to show you real quickly. All right, I took this piece. This is cut at about 2 1/4 by 4. And I'm just going to line this up right here at the bottom. And if you have a magnetic plate, that will work. If you have a piece of washi tape, I might need to get a piece of washi tape. Hopefully that will stay there. The second run through is a little better. You can see it's not quite long enough for the whole card piece, but that's okay. So I'm just going to run that through. And now for the second one, all I have to do is this die lines up. You'll feel it kind of grab those cut marks that it already made. And so it goes through very easily. And I do think I'm going to grab a piece of washi tape because I don't want it to fall off once I let it go. And so the teeth grab right into that. And let me get my Big Shot out of the way. Pull off that tape. Try not to rip my paper. And there we go. See how cute that is? And it's just this little piece. Again, that's from the Budding Blooms dies. So now I'm going to bring all of our supplies back over. We're almost done. We're going to take this piece here was cut at 4 by 5 1/4. I cut a 2-inch strip, or sorry, 1 3/4 inch strip off the top of that. I'm going to turn this over, and I'm just going to leave, see, a little bit of room there so that the scallop shows through. And if you want more scallop, it doesn't matter. You can just move this piece up, and then you'll just adjust it wherever you want here. You want to still leave the same amount of border all the way around. Now, I'm going to wrap my twine around here real quick so that I can tie a bow. I've lost my paper snips again. And then I'm just going to tie a bow here. All right, and while I'm finishing this up, if you're following me on YouTube, go ahead and click the subscribe button so that you never miss a video. Every Tuesday over on my Facebook, I do a Technique Tuesday, but I will share those videos here for you, and also my Facebook Lives every week. And every once in a while, I have other videos that I will upload here, so don't forget to click subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And tell your friends so they can stamp with us too. You can find me over on Facebook at facebook.com/stampitwithdebbie. So again, you can see that I just took this piece and I left the same border there as I left all the way around. Now the last thing we need to do is take some dimensionals and put it on the back of our piece here. Oh, that's not the last thing. We want to put some rhinestones on too. And I'm going to put this in the middle. And I just decided to do the rhinestones because I thought that this piece was a little plain, but I didn't want to add any more backgrounds or anything to this piece because I thought it would take away from what the rest of the card was kind of doing. So these are just some rhinestones that I colored with my Stampin' Blends markers. And this one I colored them in the Magenta Madness. These ones I did Real Red. And you can see they coordinate with the cardstock. So let me bring back the projects for today. Let me know which one's your favorite. Are you a dog person or a cat person? And which one of these is your favorites? Don't forget, if you place an order through my online store, I'll send you the make and take kit for these 3 projects for free if your order is $35 or more. I hope that you liked today's projects, and I hope you have a safe and happy weekend. And I will see you again back here next Thursday for Facebook Live. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in class again real soon.